Okay, so I just thought I'd make a quick video to show you what the new stormbinger feels like. I'm still working on it a little bit, so I'm guessing I can probably make it a little better. But face step is really disorienting. I thought I'd show you what it looks like. Maybe it won't bug you, but it definitely gets to be, it's definitely taking some adjusting to get used to using face step now that it teleports us 5 times and I'm trying to use abilities during face step. Also, it seems like the Eldritch Armor internal cooldown doesn't work when face step's up. I'm not sure if that's intentional to make face step awesome, or more likely it's a bug that'll get fixed and it'll make face step still really good as it shows up as my second highest DPS ability, even though I only use it once every 30 seconds, but less ridiculous. So, okay. See, got all this going. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. I'll just do a couple minutes of parsing. Also, you can now safely use introspection because it doesn't have a damage debuff you notice anymore. So this is just my live gear. This isn't the test gear. I have 2 characters on this. So say M3 is all my current live gear. That way I can see what it looks like with the changes when they go live in about 2 hours now. Okay, let's get going. And here goes face step. Whee! And I can use abilities during this, which I'm not great at remembering because I start staring at my screen and I go, oh god, I'm going everywhere. I'm mainly looking for Eldritch Armor procs, and I accidentally hard-casted a Crystalline Missiles, which is bad. I think we'll still be fine. Maybe not. That DPS is kind of abysmal. This is one of those fun times where everything lines up at the same time and you're like, what the hell am I going to do? So I'm trying to get this off, that off, now face stepping. Boom. I'm trying to use my procs. It's hard to, sometimes you can't get the procs off between, I've noticed. That's one of the annoying things because it's a half second, so sometimes my game just doesn't seem to register that I'm trying to use an ability and sometimes it does. So. But yeah. Also, if you're watching real carefully my kalerts, you may notice that when Vorpal Slash goes off, looks a little weird. The reason for this is I've changed my macros. I actually use Vorpal Slash before Hailstorm because I want to make sure that I don't mess up my internal cooldown, and I should not have done it. And a lot of times you'll hardcast during that. There's just not a good way around it because you're trying to use it, but if you spam too quickly, before your proc comes up, it'll actually try to cast it, and it won't get interrupted just because you have a proc in the middle, which is what's weird. I'm not used to be able to proc in the middle of my thing, so. But yeah, because it's okay. It's fine to use your cooldowns for Eldritch Armor as long as it's not Vorpal Slash, even if you're outside the internal cooldown. So that's why I put it first. I also have a version of the macro, you'll notice on my F key, which doesn't, well, you may not be able to tell from that, but it doesn't actually use up what I'm doing. Yeah, see, I managed to cast my Blazing Light during that spam. But yeah, so what I do is I have a separate macro that doesn't use Vorpal Slash, so I can safely use it if I end up outside the internal cooldown. Of course, you know, the biggest part is just never wasting procs. That's how this gets good eventually. Yeah, see, it ends up right around where my Soulstorm does, but that's with a perfect setup, and Soulstorm, if you have to move even a little bit, this is definitely better. Like, I use this on any fight where I'm actually going to have to move some, other than qeKYb because my computer explodes. I tried to face step there. It didn't go. Yeah, and there you notice my Blazing Light, I didn't do it correctly because I could have accidentally used Vorpal and triggered my internal cooldown, which would have been bad. But overall, this is going alright. In fact, I just don't play this on live much, so I think it can improve a little bit. And then it'll be worth using. I've been trying to get to that point. I've been working on it some. Especially now that I know the face step change is going live. Face steps up. Hurry up and get through those. Yeah, this is disorienting. And then, did I even get... I'm going to go back to the video and check. I'm not even sure I got 5 charges there. Seems like I only got 3, and then my character was like, we're done charging. We're going to do other things. We're just going to parse for, like, let's say 4 minutes or something. Not even use mana potions to parse is nice. It's not bad on the PTS, obviously, because they're all free. But it's still nice for when you're on live and you want to parse. Yeah, and the little lead charge thing means that I switch macros that I'm using. I've got a macro that deactivates Charge Blade, which is what my 2 is, instead of my 1. I don't have to use it a whole lot, but I do sometimes. Okay, I think I got all my charges there, it looks like. We're just going to go for 4 minutes at the end of this, Storm Locust. I'm just going to stop there. It gives you kind of an idea of what it looks like. Oh, let me bring up my damage breakdown. This is what my breakdown looks like, in case you care. That has absolutely everything on it. So, yep, that's what I feel like. I like the build. Like, I like playing Stormbinger a lot, but right now my Soulstorm ends up being a tiny bit stronger. I'm hoping that as I practice this some, this will end up being at the top. You'll notice, yeah, my Phase Step is my second highest damage ability, so it's definitely a buff. And I see people say it's the best spec, so if it's the best before with Phase Step, it definitely should be, considering that's an extra 8,000 DPS, and you don't lose much of anything for Phase Step. Like, I can't seem to use my abilities quite as well, because it just has problems sometimes with jumping, but hopefully I'll get used to that or figure out what it is that causes that. But yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to try this out on more people as they get to practice at summits. I think it's a really fun build to play. Hopefully it stays good, because you get to do a lot of stuff, and it's nice. It's not boring like something like Pyro, where I'm like, I'm going to press the 1 key a lot, and then I'll press some cooldowns, and if I'm moving, maybe I'll do something a little different. But this build tends to have a lot to manage, as you noticed when I was playing. So.